So I've taken this arm, cut it up, enlarged it, just like I've taken the whole panel and just moved it a bit down because I need to make space for over here. The Taskmaster shows up, they found the skull, and he's butting in, but his head is cut off, and it's just, I mean, that's just silly. Like, we want to have a big look, right? So this needs to move down, or it needs to be smaller. But then when I'm over here, this dude needs to be in the foreground. Or you can just kind of be in between. That'd be kind of cool, maybe. Just have him in here. So this way, see, if I make him large here, like he's not, like he's in the scene, but at the same time, it'll make for a nice big introduction of this character. It's going to be more important later on, because he's going to crack that skull open and give us a MacGuffin. MacGuffins. Good morning, everyone. It's Jan. It's Sunday. It's early, kind of. I guess it's not that early anymore. Oh well, I tried. So the guys in the V100's crew pointed out that Jim Lee posted this 5-hour-long making a page from start to finish. So I've put the good man on, and I guess I'll just leave that running. But just like yesterday, first things first, I've had my breakfast, I've had my coffee. I'm going to start working on this page so I can get my hour in, because who knows what might happen next. I'm definitely going to be editing my fan edit later on. I need to, this is the one day I get to have like a good solid 5 hours working on that. So that's what I'm going to do. But let's do some work on page 12. Made some more minor adjustments. Just a little bit, moved this around, took this panel out because it didn't make any sense all of a sudden. And now I am going to add, oh wait, I added these guys in the foreground for this panel, so I'm expanding that panel like that. See that? I thought it didn't quite have the effect I wanted, so let's try that again. Like that. So going with white, these are very straight borders, very clear. Is this too much space in between? I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. But one thing I am thinking for this right here is that this could just be a space for more text, or a space for the balloons, because this is also crammed in. So maybe this is all this big space in between is perfect for the balloons for these little panels. So let's keep going. So in the time I've been working on my little page, isn't that insane? So let me still show you what I got here. I've just been doodling away, mesmerized by the stream, and adding little highlights, working out the figures a little bit better, seemingly uninterested in adding the splashes of color like on previous pages, just like yesterday. But that's okay, I'm just going with the flow. But there's quite a lot of balloons I managed to put on the page. So I imagine it's going to be like something like, hey, watch it. She quickly ducks out of the way. Is that clear? The shape here reminds me of that keyboard player in Jabba's palace. I think that's what inspired me. It's got the skull, and then here a big top-down view of where we are. The big lecture about, you know, respecting the dead and all that. Like, it's a big teachable moment, if you will, for the kids. But then, hey, what have we got here, you know? This is the wisdom tooth. Nurse gets the tool and starts extracting the wisdom tooth. This being sci-fi, everyone is leaning in on getting a good view. Snaps it off. So I repurposed this this panel over here to make it very clear what is happening visually. Snaps it. I wrote snap on top of the skull. That might be, I mean, I want it over here because I figured like you're reading like this, right? Like you go from here, you go here, but now it's a little unclear. So in the final art, I might have to look at that again. So there's wires that has to, it wasn't clear, so I added a bit of color for myself just to remind myself, like, make sure people can see the wire coming out of the skull. So, holds it up, people are in awe. And then there's this character over here. Might seem just like a funny guy. He's back over here as well. But he's gonna run off with the skull later on. And I want him to look a little, you know, offbeat. So this guy's going back to work. I thought of having another balloon here, like, all right, let's get back to work. But then I figured if I squeeze Anne in there as supervisor, same here, like, ew. All right, everyone back to work. They're going back to work. He walks off, made sure that he's still holding his little treasure, because there's a later page where he's gonna file it away in his little office. All the interesting things they find that relate to his own hobby, if you will. Meanwhile, Kitty's asleep. Me, however, I'm gonna have to pull myself away from the stream. I've been sitting here for about an hour and 45 minutes, so I'm not as productive. So I might have to turn this off if I'm gonna work on the comic, because this is clearly not working, but it is fascinating to see how messy he is. That's just cool. Anyway, we'll let Mr. Lee finish his page, and I am gonna go for a walk, I think, just to get the blood flowing again, and grab a little bit of lunch, and get down to some video editing, because that's another project. Bye. Thanks for having a look at my day 27 of 100 days of making comics. The rest of the day I did spend working on my little fan edit, and I had a bit of a major breakthrough actually. So it's rendering right now. I'm very excited, but good thing I got that comic book work out of the way in the morning. See you guys tomorrow. Hope you're all doing well. Good night.